Hello, my name is Kurt Brown, also known as Saint Rambone. I'm sending this message to basically the family and friends, so you just know me as Kurt. I want to send you a warning. I want to warn you to never serve in the United States military, to never trust the United States governments. I would say that about all governments. I will tell you why I say this, and I hate to say it, because I'm many generations down of men who have been, I don't know how to say it, but we served in the United States military. I do not want any more generations of my family to have anything to do with them. Even in the United States governments, I urge you to beware in the future. If you ever happen to see dead people laying around from a blast or a fight, say for states like Arizona, New Mexico, and Nevada, that you do not report that to a hospital in any way, because you might find yourself being injected and there might be a war going on. The reason I say this, I was forcibly injected in Flagstaff, Arizona in 2004 after I had survived an attack on my life in 2001. The government had me on the run. Under their Chapter 36 laws in Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, they can inject you with chemicals if you go into a hospital and report anything. So I urge you to beware with that. Now, what I want to talk about really was I cannot sue the federal government for the forced injections and the forced medical procedures that I received in 2001, in which I was jailed for afterward. I was actually jailed afterward. They had me sign documents while they were threatening me and injecting me with chemicals and making me very sick. I've been sick since 2001. This is 2009. Whenever they injected me stuff that made me very sick. If you think about it, even a small mosquito can bite you and kill you. They have a little tiny needle. These people at these VA hospitals, these federal facilities, they have large needles. I urge you to beware of them. I've been very sick. Ever since I was injected. It comes and goes. But I was tortured basically also after I had survived an attack on my life after working for their banking industry. I warn you to observe the government, to beware that things may not be what they seem, that many people go out doing these holy wars like I saw one young man do, going to the Mideast on a holy war. That is what they want you to do. If you run around with a gun like a stick fighting these people or this thing, you will always lose. That's not the way to go about this. I personally believe that some people will try to fight back, but they will lose because you're outgunned. The gun is obsolete. They will not tell you this. Those forced injections they're giving you, those are engineered chemicals. The stuff they put in the air that's engineered. It's the stuff they put into space, it's all engineered. A gun is an obsolete thing, like a stick. Do not even own one, is my opinion, because they will prosecute you for owning one, or they will kill you with it and have you look like a suicide. Beware of the federal government. I was forced injections and forced medical procedures after I had survived an attempt on my life after working as a bank examiner for the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. The FBI and Secret Service did not respond to an attempt on my life. That was in February of 2001. There had been a murder at the FDIC, labeled suicide. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation had a murder at the FDIC. The regional director, the guy in top, was murdered, labeled suicide. That was before I arrived at that San Francisco office. I arrived there in 1999 actually, and I left there in 2000. I was also at the Sacramento office, and I suspect money laundering and crime syndicates. They do not pay their taxes in those casinos, and Washington, D.C. allows them to get by with this. I urge my children not to go into casinos to avoid those type industries. Avoid all the friends, any child of any friend of mine or anyone who would even care about their own children to not go into casinos. I think they should be eliminated from the United States. They've led to the killing of innocent men. That regional director of FDIC and a federal prosecutor, Thomas Crane Wells, who was shot in Seattle in 2001, the same year I was attacked. Wells was killed. I survived the attack on my life, but I believe both of us were attacked because of what's going on in the casino industry and high-tech warfare and the big money game. It is no time to play in that business. The people are indifferent. It's almost like there's a war waging and they just push you out and they do not care. I'd urge you to stay out of that business. Be an engineer or be something, but try to avoid things that are predatory on other people like that. They're nothing to us. The casinos are nothing. They do not have them in Brazil. We should not have them in the United States. I cannot sue the federal government because of these forced injections. I was injected in 2001 and 2004. I might have had chemicals jammed up my nose when I was arrested trying to do some journalistic work. I am a degreed journalist and a degreed accountant. The police pushed me down. They rammed their fingers up their nose and pulled my head back like this. They might have been putting chemicals in there. I urge you to stay out of government buildings if you can. I know it's practically impossible. You can even leave the United States. I don't know where to go where you can be safe from this international dictatorship that controls the United States and likely other nations. They've been killing us since we were kids. I remember even in Vietnam, when I was just a little boy, kids were being sent off to die. Some of them coming back and killing themselves. Their government has never cared about us or anyone else. Our parents were had and deceived. They did not understand the type of technology and the type of people they're dealing with. And some people just don't care. They will kill anyone and they will do anything to anyone. I was exiled, injected, and tortured for 3 years. I cannot sue the federal government. The proof of what would have exonerated me was Sheriff Jack Tillman, who took my gun permit on 4/3/2001. That's April 3rd, 2001 at high noon at the Mobile, Alabama City Council gate. I was going to report his inmate food funds thievery. He showed up there. I had sent a letter to the inmate in the jail telling him I was coming, and Jack showed up. I knew at that point Jack was the one who was starving inmates. I could not do anything in 2001. I was pushed from the building. Since that time, I've been arrested several times trying to enter that building. That's the Mobile, Alabama City Council government in Mobile, Alabama, my native city, a city that's found in wretched despair, controlled by people exterior to that city who are hostile to me and my people. They not only haul people off, sending them to jail often for non-crimes, but many of these people have past fines or restitutions they cannot pay, or child support, and they put them in jail, and the children end up as orphans. Orphans to a group of people in the federal government who are known to do forced injections, forced experiments, and they are known to do experiments on children, as in Kaiser Permanente Hospital in Los Angeles in 1992. Everybody paid attention to Rodney King, but not to children being used in the experiments, because that's what the mass media of the United States government wants. They do not want us to have anything, and they will take our children, our money, our health, and our human rights, as they have done. It's too bad that I could not take them to court over that, because I was not the only veteran injected in forced medical procedures in Los Angeles VA Westwood in 2001. There were others that were injected there in 1999, and the VA was ordered to stop. It was a Secret Service or federal or FBI agent who injected me on April 23rd, 2001. Me and Jack met on 4/3/2001. I survived the temp of my life in February 2001. No one cares. I urge my people to stay away from the government, to view them just as many other people have viewed their subjugators, whether we were talking about the Indians underneath a bunch of Europeans, or a bunch of Jews under a bunch of Germans, or a bunch of Palestinians in a Israeli concentration camp. I urge you to look at Neturei Karta. It's Neturei Karta, K-A-R-T-A. They're a peaceful group. They believe in the word as is written in Talmud and Torah. They will not even go back over to Israel to take land away that they could go get. But they believe in those words so strong, and they stay away from the government of the United States as a result. Anyone who doesn't have a humane conscience will not understand that at all. They will look and scoff and laugh. In the end, we all know who we are around us. We will know in the end who is us and who is them. I hope to be among the humane, and I hope all the people I have touched upon will remain humane. I urge you to protect your own. And I really do believe Neturei Karta has the right idea about this. Separate yourself from the government. I really don't think you can beat them in any sort of conflict. We are deceived. We are forced injections, forced experiments, and robbed. Protect your own. This is Kurt Brown, St. Rambone, Mobile Audit Club. That's MOBILE, Audit Club.